Shalom, beloved. I want to give infinite honors to our Heavenly Father and our great King, Yahweh Y, Yahweh Shai. I want to give double honors to our teachers, the apostles of Great Millstone, who our Heavenly Father has poured His Spirit upon to teach us this doctrine of life. They are worthy of the double honors. And shalom to my fellow laborers in Yahweh Shai, laboring for that penny, pushing this truth across the four winds in this final hour, abounding in this labor of love to make the call and election assured. Shalom to you, brothers. On this clip, I'm going to answer a question on my comment board. It's a beautiful thing that we got young brothers waking up, all right? We're living in a time of the Great Awakening, and the kingdom of heaven is upon us. And we all know the kingdom of heaven is all about the men serving Yahweh Shema Shai. The kingdom of heaven is the men. The flock of Yahweh Shema Shai's shepherd is men. The kingdom of heaven is with men. It's written in various places. So it's a beautiful thing when we see men waking up, coming back to their nationality, their customs, their culture, so on and so forth. But no matter what, when you come in, you're a novice, you're a baby. And we all had to come up under that rod. And when we brothers that's been in for a while, you know, we're still students ourselves, but, you know, we've gotten off the milk, and you know, a lot of us have went up to the meat. We tell younger brothers, don't get ahead of yourselves, just like it was told to us. Like, young brothers, there's nothing wrong with being diligent, searching the scriptures, researching and reading, but you got to do the basics. Now, this guy, I'm gonna read his question, but I talked to this brother, and this is not a rebuking, young lad. This is a admonishing. An admonishment, all right? I talked to this young lad on the comment board. I might have been last week. He asked me, where did I teach? And he wanted to come out with me, and I was like, when he told me that he was closer to New Orleans, I was like, nah, we got brothers out there. It'll be more expedient for you to go deal with them, because it's written in the Apocrypha that a close friend is better than a far away brother. You know, I'm roughly paraphrasing, but it's definitely written. And it would be more expedient to go out there and sup with them brothers. And my thing is, you got to take the advice of older brothers that's been in a while. All right? So you asked this question, but did you go see those brothers? And I know you didn't, because the brothers would have told me. All right? That's first and foremost. All right? But when I read your question, the question bypasses the basics. And nothing's wrong with this question, but you have to do first things first. All right? Now I'm going to read this question, and then I'm going to funnel it through the scriptures. All right? It's basically an easy matter, but it's out of season. Okay? It's not decently and in order. You got to do first things first in this truth. All right? Now, the brother saluted me. Yahweh Shema Shai. All right? Supposed to say Barakathai after that, brother. All right? I appreciate y'all time and help with our people. All right? And that's the lot of a prophet. That's what we're supposed to do. I mean, that's what you're supposed to do. You're supposed to learn this knowledge and then go teach it. Freely you receive, freely you give. All right, that's what the kingdom of heaven is about, building up the spiritual house, okay? And we're not doing it with all our people. We're doing it with the elect of our people. I have learned a lot of information from y'all, all right? And see, this is another thing that we notice from a lot of guys. This is the information source. It's not about being a lot of information. You got to come to this power source and only get fed from this power source. You can't be at this table and then go to other tables and eat. That's the prescription to become a bug out. Okay, you come to this table and you eat from this table and you do it decently in order. When our great king went and got those 12, all right, those guys only followed him and learned from him. They didn't take a piece or a bit from here or over there. They was only under him. Okay. Anyways, I have a question regarding the Israelites. It is a kind of long due to what y'all do to what I want y'all to understand where I'm coming from. I have a lot of respect for y'all and would appreciate y'all feedback. Okay? And that's what we're here for. We're here to answer questions. But we are here to teach the truth of the scriptures decently in order. All right? When younger brothers come in, the only thing they supposed to be learning is the sincere milk. All right? Now, you ask questions, all right? We get to the point we don't even answer certain questions if a younger brother can't answer. A brother come ask me a question that I feel is too high for him, I'm going to ask him a basic question. If he can't answer that basic question, what the fuck I'm going to give him the answer to the question he's answered? All right? That's not decently in order. That's confusion. Okay? What color does the Yahweh and not man want our border of fringes to be? And see, this is what pissed me off when I was reading this fucking question. All right? Because the brother's mind is already made up. He's answering the question, but when I finish reading, you're going to see his mind is made up already, okay? For it is written, speak unto the children of Israel and bid them that they shall make them fringes in the borders of their garments throughout their generations, and that they put upon the fringes of their borders a ribbon of blue. Numbers 15 and 38, all right? And that's the commandments, okay? The word blue in the passage in the Hebrew is takahelet. Takahelet. Alternate spelling include takahelet, takalishit, so on and so forth. In Numbers 15:38, the Hebrew word takalith was translated in the KJV to mean blue. However, the takalela means violet in Hebrew, not blue. The source of the origin of takahelet is from a snail. The prize color was not blue, but a violet color. Today is Tyrene purple, and it's not just a snail. What you call it is Phoenician purple, and they used to get it from the shellfish and the snail. Okay, it was the Phoenicians used to make that beautiful purple, and it was very expensive. Okay, this is what the source of the Takala dye. Basically, the blue mentioned in the Bible isn't the American understanding of blue, but the Hebrew translation of Tekala, which is Tyrene purple. Now, that don't sound like a question, okay? That sounds like he's being an authority figure giving his answer from his understanding of what he's read. So shouldn't we all wear Tyrene purple as the border for the fringes, since it's a commandment? John 14 and 15, all right? And to me, it looked like a trick question. And to me, it looked like your mind is already made up, okay? Because you went and done your research. You went into the lexicon, so on and so forth. But you're wrong, brother, and I'm going to show you why, okay? And not only wrong with this question, but wrong on how you do it, how you've done things, because I told you to go deal with those brothers first and foremost. That's the first thing you do when you come into the faith. You don't ask the color about the fringes. Nah, you gotta come learn what the kingdom of heaven is about. All right? And the kingdom of heaven is not about the color of the fringes. All right? That's a part of it. All right? But what good is knowing the color of the fringes if you don't know what charity is, if you don't know what brotherhood is, okay? You're putting the carriage ahead of the horses when you do that. And that's what we tell you young brothers that are zealous. Nothing's wrong with it, but you got to do things the right way. Like what they used to tell those basketball players. You got to play it the right way, all right? I asked this because I wanted to do what Yahweh wants. All right? The Kohelet of Numbers 15:38 is better translated as violet, which was borrowed from the French language because the word did not exist in English, so blue was used instead. All right? See, you're speaking as an authority figure, okay? It doesn't sound like a question. It sounds like you're teaching. And another evidence is the saying, roses are red and violets are blue. All right? And that's you answered the question right there. All right? The reason you don't know that violets are blue because there's no such thing as violet without the color of blue, okay? Technically, the flower violets are not blue, but a purplish color, all right? Purple and violet are two different colors, young lad. Okay? So basically, Telica in the Bible is the color of the violet wildflower. All right? See, you went down the wormhole, but you didn't go deep enough. All right? But my thing is, when it come to young brothers like this, asking questions like this, I mean, I'm not gonna, like a lot of brothers been saying it, man. If I'm gonna answer a question with the question. If the brother can answer the basic questions of the sincere milk, then I would do it. But if you can't answer basic questions of sincere milk, I'm not, man. Brother's not answering it because we didn't do it, and brothers used to answer our questions, but we always dealt with first things first, okay? And if you also consider what's being said, it would make sense due to the representing royalty. Again, I have mad respect for all of you and our Israelites. Please get back regarding the important question. Thanks. Also, the proof that the Jewish people are fake because they do not use Hebrew translation for blue to represent them. Jewish people use the American version of blue to represent our country. They don't use Tyrene purple. See, your mind made up. You really not answering the question, man. All right? Now, let me go to the precepts first before I answer this question. I'm going to answer your question, okay? But I'm going to go into precepts so you can see, young lad, the first reason you went off, all right? The last time you asked me a question, I told you to get at those brothers in New Orleans, all right? If you would have got at them brothers in New Orleans, you would have got your answer. But you would have learned the proper things that you're supposed to learn first. Okay? So that's the first way you went off. You bypassed the instructions I gave you to get at them brothers in New Orleans, and you didn't, because brothers would have told me, and you came back with a question that bypassed the sincere milk. So I'm going to start off with the sincere milk, okay? This is 1 Peter chapter 2, verse 2, and it reads, as newborn babies, when you come into this faith, you're a newborn baby. I don't care how old you are. You could be 30, 40, 50, 60. You're a newborn baby in the spirit, okay? You have to be taught this truth, just like a newborn baby has to be taught to speak, walk, wipe his ass, so on and so forth. We have to, as grown men, spiritually, we got to learn how to become subjects and rulers in the kingdom to come, and that has to be taught, okay? So as a newborn baby, you're supposed to desire the sincere milk. The sincere milk is the basics, all right? You don't go teach a baby how to ride a bike first. You teach a baby how to walk, okay? You don't give a baby turkey sausage, eggs, and biscuits first. You give a baby milk, okay? You give a baby milk for months on end, okay? For a year, all right? Desire the sincere milk of the word that you might grow thereby, all right? So you got to know what the sincere milk is, the basics. This is the first thing you need to learn before you learn what color the fringes are, all right? This is Matthew chapter 22, and I'm going to start at verse 37, and I'm going to skip up to 35 for edification's sake. All right, Matthew 22 and 35. Then one of them, which was a lawyer, asked him a question, tempting him, and saying, Master, which is the greatest commandment, Salakia, in the law? All right? And this is our great king that's about to give you the sincere milk. This is the basics that you have to learn. And Yahushua said unto him, Thou shalt love thy power with all thy heart, with all thy soul, and with all thy mind. So you got to learn what you have to do not to commit spiritual fornication. Okay? We were put out of our place in nativity because we were whoring out to their powers, these other philosophies. All right? We wasn't put out because we wasn't wearing the proper color of the fringes, which you have to do the proper color of the fringes. I'm not negating from that, but we were put out because of adultery, fornication, all right? whoring out to these other powers, these other deities, these other philosophies, okay? So you have to learn that first, the things that you are doing that's off in the society, okay? This is the first and greatest commandment, all right? And the brothers are going to teach you that. When you come in, brothers going to be like, look, brother, we don't celebrate Christmas. We don't celebrate Easter. We don't do the for philosophers of the heathen. We don't vote, you know. We don't conform to this American jargon, dogma, so on and so forth, because it's at enmity with the doctrine of life, all right? That's what the brother's going to teach you when you come in, all right? Verse 38, verse 39, and the second is like unto it. Thou shalt love thy neighbor as thyself, all right? What I was giving you was the basic. I was telling you to go to the brothers so you can learn how to love your neighbor as you love yourself. That's what the kingdom of heaven is all about. Fellowshipping with the brothers, learning how to deal with brothers, all right? Coinciding with brothers, okay? That's the first thing you learn, man, when you come to this faith, all right? The first time I was around genuine brothers where I could relax and don't have to worry about somebody playing on my top, coming at me sideways, is when I got around the brotherhood. That's the first things you learn, okay? And on these two commandments hang the law and the prophets. So this is the first thing you need to learn. This is the sincere milk. How to dwell in unity with other men, all right? Us men, we're the kingdom of heaven, okay? Us servants of Yahweh Shema Shah, that's the first thing you learn. We don't even beat the law. When you come in, brothers don't beat younger brothers with the law, okay? We teach you Yahweh Shema Shah, and we teach you how to be a delight and get along with brothers, all right? All right, and everything else is going to come, all right? Let me get another precept. 1 John chapter 4, all right? If you don't have this down pat, it doesn't matter if if you're right or wrong about the color of fringes. If you don't have this down pat, all right? He that loveth not knoweth not Yahweh. So who do you love? You love Yahweh Shema Shai and your Akim. So if you don't know how to love your Akim, you don't love the Most High. If you ain't loving your brother and don't know how to get along with your brother, what good is knowing what color a fringe is or what color is supposed to be there? All right? You're putting the carriage ahead of the horses. You got to learn charity first. All right? You got to learn humility first. You got to be humble amongst the brothers, contrite. You got to learn how to put brothers' needs ahead of your needs, okay? You got to learn how to do these things first and foremost. And you're not going to know how to do it if you're not around brothers. Because the way you're going to learn how to do it is being amongst brothers. If you live close to New Orleans, it's a plethora of brothers out there. And I know them personally. They stand up guys, man. All right? Men that fear Yahweh Shema Shai. They no nonsense. They don't take no bullshit. But if you come up there in the right spirit, man, they going to love you, man. They going to love you. All right? And this was manifested, the love of Yahweh towards us. All right? This is why Yahweh Shema Shai came. This is why Yahweh sent our great king down here to teach us how to love one another. Okay? Because Yahweh sent his only begotten son into the world that we might live through him. Yahweh Shai loved us. He taught us how to live, man. And therefore, what he taught us, we had to teach the other brothers, all right? First and foremost. All right? Herein is love, that we love Yahweh, all right? And the way you love Yahweh, you keep his commandments to the best of your ability, okay? We don't walk around with fringes in this society. We don't go to work with fringes on, all right? Because we're rehearsing the righteous act. It's not expedient to walk around with fringes on and you're being deemed a terrorist in the land of the valley of the shadow of death. You stick out like a sore thumb, okay? But that he loved us and sent his son to be a propitiation petition for our sins. Okay? Beloved, if Yahweh loved us, we also should love one another. All right? And love is keeping the commandments. All right? It's love. So you do need to know about the fringes. All right? But the commandments teach us, when you read those first 10, how to love one another. Don't steal from your brother. Don't covet your brother. All right? Don't lie to your brother. Don't commit adultery against your brother. All right? Those 10 is a summary of the 613. Okay? And those 2 is a summary of the 10. Okay? You got to get that down first. Okay? No man have seen Yahweh at any time. But if we love one another, Yahweh dwell in us. When you loving on your brother, you're seeing Yahweh, man. You see what I'm saying? The basics is critical. When you dwelling with a brother, and fellowshipping with a brother, and y'all loving on one another, y'all getting along, y'all not backbiting one another, and y'all, your brother in need, you help him. When you in need, he help you. Iron sharpening the iron, y'all keeping each other sharp. You seeing Yahweh, man. You're dwelling in the house of Yahweh. You have that spirit that Yahweh has. When you looking at your brother, you looking at Yahweh. Yahweh Shema Shai. Okay? So you don't bypass that to want to ask technical questions, because the technical questions are going to come. You got to get the first things first. And his love is perfected in us. Okay? So it's imperative that you get around the brothers first. That's what you do first and foremost. Now, when you get around the brothers and you get the hang of things, all these topics and questions going to come out naturally. All right? And then when you have a question, a brother going to break it down for you. But you got to do things decently in order. The first instructions I gave you, you didn't take hold of them, man. You got to go to a camp near you, get yoked to the body, and then all that knowledge, information, brothers is going to give to you. But even questions like that, brothers not just going to lay that on you. I'm going to show you why. Let me show you why. Where that precept at? It's Sirach. Where's that precept? Y'all about Shema Shai, give me that precept in my mind. I think it's 5. Alright. This was here. That's not it. I'm tripping. That's all I gotta do. Bear with me, Aki. Where's that precept? I'm looking for the precept, seek out not to things too high for thee. I don't think it's this far. Oh, I hate it when this happens. Bear with me, Aki. Here we go. This is Sirach 3:21. Seek not out things too hard for thee, neither search things that are above thy strength. When you're a baby, man, you deal with the basics. Get the basics down, okay? Don't go above thy strength. All right, even though the fringes is a basic matter, you still got to do first things first. I'm gonna show you why. But what is commanded of thee? All right, it's commanded of us to go and get yoked with the body first, to get yoked amongst the brotherhood. All right, to learn the basics, to learn not to backbite, steal, to love on your fellow man, your fellow Israelite man in his truth. All right, because we're not worried about all of Israel. We're worried about the elect of Israel. Think there upon with reverence. You got to get under a man that has this knowledge and revere him. All right, all right. You got to learn how to take orders. All right. If you would have did what I told you to do, them brothers would have broke that down for you with grace. But you got to do first things first, okay? For it is not needful for thee to see with thine eyes the things that are in secret. Because a lot of times when you go, like you did, go on these wild goose chase, man, and you don't know how to navigate, man, you're going to find yourself fucked up. Be not curious in unnecessary matters. For more things were shewed unto thee than men understand. And I'm going to show you why. All right? For many are deceived by their own vain opinion. The borders are blue. All right? The borders are not purple. All right? Violet is no such thing as violet without blue. All right? The interpreters, there's a lot of bones in the blue letter. Okay? There's bones in there. You got to learn how to navigate through those bones. You have to learn how to separate the meat from the bones, all right? And you're rocking off of your own vain opinion, because what makes your opinion vain is you're wrong, okay? And this is what will happen to you when you're wrong. And an evil suspicion has overthrown their judgment. And when the evil suspicion overthrown your judgment, and you around here making garments with borders of purple, all right? You going totally off. That's what happened. That evil suspicion, that vain opinion turns into an evil suspicion, and you will get judged for it, for not doing things decently in order, for not getting that sincere milk first. All right? That will happen. You'll go bake your garment and have it in purple, have the border of your bridges in purple, going totally off. That's what happens. Okay? Without eyes thou shalt want light, profess not knowledge. All right, but that's it on that. You would get judged for being wrong, all right? 2 Peter, the 3rd chapter, touches on that. Not understanding these scriptures and going your own way, you will be destroyed, all right? Let me see what other precept I got. Got one in Romans 2 about getting the first things first, all right? This is Romans 13. And I'm going to start around, here we go. Start at 8. Owe no man anything, but love one another. This is the sincere milk. You got to learn how to love your brother, man. This is the basics right here. For he that loveth another hath fulfilled the law. You see what I'm saying? If you loving a brother and you got the wrong color on your garment, guess what? That grace that Yahweh Shah bought is going to cover you not knowing the color of their garment. Although we have the answer, I'm just showing you how grace and mercy works, okay? For this, thou shalt not commit adultery. Who do you commit adultery against? A brother. Thou shalt not kill. Who will you kill? A brother. Thou shalt not steal. See, you got to get the basics first. You got to learn how to coexist with the brethren. Thou shalt not bear false witness. Who do you lie on? A brother. All right, where does it talk about the fringes? You get to the fringes later. The fringes is not the first thing you get to, all right, when you come to this faith, okay? You're going to get to it eventually, but that's not the first thing we deal with. Thou shalt not covet. Who you cover against? A brother. If there be any other commandment, all right, listen. If there be any other commandment, is not the fringes another commandment. It is briefly comprehended in this saying, namely, thou shalt love thy neighbor as thyself. You got to first learn how to learn your neighbor as yourself, all right? Before you get to those other various commandments. We're not casting those commandments aside. We wear our borders of blue. But you got to deal with first things first. Love working no ill towards his neighbor. Therefore, love is the fulfilling of the law. When you loving your neighbor, you're fulfilling all of it. Okay? And then after you do that, we get into the particulars. Okay? That's how we handle business. All right? So let me go ahead to the answer your question. Okay? Let me go to Numbers 15. I'm going to read it over here first. I'm going to stay over here. I'm going to just go to it. All right? I'm going to show you how you, without a brother guiding you, let me show you what happened. Let me get this precept first. How should I know unless another man teach me? And you answering the question, but your question was, it was up and down. Your questions, at 1 minute it sounds like you've been asking a sincere question, but then on the next, when you keep reading further down, it sounds like you teaching, you preaching, your mind is made up. Anybody reads that, it sounds like your mind is made up. Okay? Now where is it when he's seen this is Acts 8. I'm gonna start at verse 26. And the angel of the Lord spake unto Philip, saying, Arise and go toward the south unto the way that goeth down from Jerusalem unto Gaza, which is desert. And he arose and went, and behold, a man of Ethiopia, a eunuch of great authority under Candace, queen of the Ethiopians. All right, and the queens and shit, that's of the heathen. We don't have queens in Israel. That's the way of the heathen. When you calling a woman a queen, all that bullshit, that's another way of the heathen, man. All right, a woman was known through her husband. Her name would be Judith, wife of such and such. Her name would be Abigail, wife of such and such, Abigail, daughter of such and such. That's how you knew who a woman was. Abigail, daughter of such and such from the tribe of such and such. That's it. Okay? She was known through her husband or her father. We didn't do that queen bullshit. If she was married to a king, it would be Abigail, wife of King such and such. Period. That queen shit is the rhetoric and philosophies of the heathen. All right? These women around here talking about they queens. And then even the heathen queens had more integrity than our women. When you read about the customs of a queen only dealt with her king. She didn't have a body count, the number of pike counting. You know, I hate, man, when I read shit like that, it piss me off. Who had the charge of all her treasure and had come to Jerusalem for the worship, all right? So that show you. This guy here was an Israelite, but he lived in a fatherland. And what did it call him? A man of Ethiopia, a eunuch under the great authority under Candace of the Ethiopian. But he wasn't Ethiopian. He was an Israelite. Was returning and sitting in his chariot read Isaiah the prophet. Then the Spirit said unto Philip, Go near and join thyself into the chariot. And Philip ran hither to him and heard him read the prophet Isaiah and said, Understanding thou what thou readest? All right? And that's what we are here for. To teach brothers about what they read, because it was taught to us, okay? Because if you read it on your own, you will go off. All right? It's certain things you can read like a novel, certain stories, like when you read the Book of Kings, so on and so forth. You read the Book of Ezra, Nehemiah, that's basically history. All right? You can read them like that, but in other places, it has to be broken down to you. All right? And he said, how can I accept some man guide me? Brother, you need a guide. All right? Your diligent search is good. It's good to have that spirit on you, but you need a guide, obviously. All right? That's why I told you to go deal with those brothers. All right? It don't make no sense for you to come to Baton Rouge if you're close to New Orleans. Okay? And he desired Philip that he would come up and see him. What the point is, the eunuch said, and he said, how can I accept some man guide me? We have to be guided when we learn in these scriptures, man. All right? That's what the Most High give us older brothers for, to teach us, all right? And what they teach us, we go research, we go study, and we learn so we can teach other men exactly how it was taught to us. All right? So let me go to Numbers 15. All right, this is Numbers, the 15th chapter, go to about 35, and it reads. No, I need to go down a little farther. This is 37. This number is 15 and 37. And Yahweh spake unto Moses, saying, speaking to the children of Yasharallah, and bid them to make fringes in the borders of their garments through their generations, and that they put upon the fringe of the borders a ribbon of blue. All right? Now, this translation ain't fucked up. All right? Where it says blue, young lad, that's what it is. The borders are blue. Okay? When you go into that word in the Hebrew, it does say violet. But violet is a derivative of blue. There's no such thing as violet without the color blue. Okay? Violet, in fact, violet is more blue than red or purple. All right? And I'm going to show you the distinction in the scriptures between violet and purple. All right? And it shall be unto you for a fringe, that you may look upon it and remember the commandments of Yahweh. That's what they're there for. And to do them. And that you seek not after your own heart and your own eyes. And that's what you're doing. The worst thing you can do is go make a garment. I'm not laughing at you, but I'm just, that foul spirit get on brothers, and you'll go make a garment and be making a purple, have your fringes on that purple, man. That's off. Don't do it, brother. You're going off. All right? But that's how sneaky that foul spirit Satan is, man. He'll lead you astray quick. All right? After which you use to go a-whoring. Okay? Now I'm going to show you the difference between violet and purple. Okay? Go to the book of Exodus. This is Exodus 26:1. And it reads, moreover, thou shalt make thy tabernacle with 10 curtains of fine twin linen, and blue and purple. Now, listen, and scarlet. Now, look, you got purple on one answer and blue on the other. Now, let's go on the blue letter. Let's go to the blue letter to show that that word blue is in its proper context. Okay? And you got to know how to take the meat off the bones, man. Because this lexicon is full of bones. When you go to what that is, Deuteronomy 23:7, when they say abhor not an Edomite, that word Edomite not supposed to be there. All right, so you got to know how to take the meat off the bones. All right, so let's go like you did into the word violet, mean blue.
Strong's H 8504. Techeleth.
All right, I was pronouncing it wrong earlier. All right, violet stuff, violet thread, violet stuff of fabric. All right, twat, blue, covering spectrum from red through deep purple, and that's what violet is, brother. Violet is a is derived from red and blue. All right, that's how. There's no violet without blue or red. Okay, so when they put violet there, it's talking about blue. All right, because violet is really a dark blue. All right. Now let's go to show you that it's blue. The scripture would have just said purple. All right, because when you put violet next to purple, they look the same way. All right, so why would this passage say, using your logic, why would it say blue? All right, when using your logic, it's really purple, violet and purple. Why would it say violet and purple? That wouldn't make sense. Let's exchange the word blue for violet, and it would say made twin linen with violet and purple. That wouldn't make no sense. They one of the same. They look the same. All right. Now let's go in this Greek word, meaning this Hebrew word for purple. All right. If you don't, I mean, with these natural eyes we got, if you put violet on the side of purple, they look basically the same. They are different, but they look basically the same. All right. So let me go to purple.
Strong's H 713. Ergaman. Ergaman.
All right, so they're distinguishing a difference between the color blue and the color purple in the Hebrew. All right, and it says purple, red, purple. Okay, of foreign origin, purple, the color of dyed stuff, purple. It does not say that for violet. It says a derivative of purple, of red and blue. And more blue. It's more blue than red. To make the color violet, it takes more blue than red. All right? So that violet is really a bone. It should just say blue. All right? Because violet is derived from blue. Okay? And when you go to the color purple, it's a total different Hebrew word. And it says purple, red, purple. All right. So the garments are not supposed to be. The borders of blue are supposed to be blue. I'll show you another reason. All right. This is violet. All right. In the RGB color model used in computer and television screen, violet is produced by mixing red and blue light, all right, with more blue than red. In RGB color model historically used by painters, all right, violet is created with the combination of red and blue pigments and is located between blue and purple on the color wheel. Okay, and violet and purple are not the same. All right, look, here goes the question. Is violet considered blue? Each segment of the rainbow represents light of a particular wavelength. The shortest wavelength light stimulates only what are called the blue cones. But the end of the rainbow is not blue, it is violet. This means that the output of the so-called blue cone is violet color, all right? But you can't get violet without blue, all right? No. What color is closest to violet? The web color violet is actually a rather pale tint of magenta because it has equal amount of red and blue. The definition of magenta for computer display and some of the green primarily mixed in, unlikely most of the variants of color that are closer to blue. The same color separates as violet in the X11 color names. All right? And it says blue is not a primary color. I'm going to read this one. All right, blue is not a primary color, neither is violet, though. Violet is a secondary color. Colors are perceived by the cones in the retina of the eye. All right, below shows the effectiveness of three types of cones in the function of wavelength. The cones for convenience are named red, green, and blue. As will be shown, blue is a Meissonier. The efficiency curves for the red and green cones cross. Okay? Now, it says red, green, and blue. All right? There's no such thing as violet without red and blue. Remember that. When the eye sees 0.56 radiation, the red-green cones are simulated about equally. The visual perception of near equal stimulation of the red and green cone is yellowness. The wavelength of 0.56 itself does not have a color any more than microwave radiation or radio wave have a color. Yellowness comes from the equal stimulation of the red and green cones, all right? Light, including radiation of equal intensity at the 0.58 and 0.54 wavelength. And I'm almost positive green and yellow makes blue. The wavelengths of maximum efficiency for the red and green cones will also be perceived as yellow light. There would be some stimulation of the blue cones by the 05 UM radiation, which will lighten up the yellow and the perception. Man, what was the point? I feel like reading all that shit. It had a point where it told you. I had it marked earlier. You know what? I shouldn't have went in on that one. That's not even the same one I had. I had one of them marked. But hey man, the point is, man, when you go into that scripture, man, all right, the Most High has given us this doctrine of life. Our elders been out here teaching 40 years, man. The Most High is evident. The Most High has poured His Spirit on the body, from the elder apostles to the least of us, all right? And it's not about to have a young brother that pop up and wake up and something's going to get past the men that be here, and this young brother's going to have this wild revelation. Oh man, we're not supposed to be wearing purple fringes. Blue fringes, it's supposed to be purple. Nah, all right? They don't go like that, all right? The borders are blue. The Most High, let me give you a precept, man. If we wrong, that means we'll be wrong about everything else. This is 1 John chapter 2, verse 20. And it reads, but we have an unction from the Holy One. When you go to that word unction in the Greek, that word there is anointed. We've been anointed with this truth, okay? And ye know all things, all right? When it comes to the colors of the fringes, man, we on point with that. Because this doctrine of life, you have to be perfect. You can't go off to the right or left. Now, the creation is subject to vanity. We could go off in our walk, but when it comes to this doctrine is impenetrable and it's perfect. This is Matthew chapter 5, verse 48, and it reads, be ye therefore perfect, all right? And the great king our great king is telling us to be perfect in this doctrine when you teach it, all right? Because in this walk, you're going to have bumps and bruises. Babies fall when they learn how to walk. Babies have to learn not to get the fork and go stick it in the electric outlet, all right? But what he's telling us, brothers, when you teach this doctrine is what's going to perfect you. So you got to be perfect with it. We're not going off one jot, one tittle with this doctrine, all right? When it comes to those borders on your fringes, they're blue, okay? Even as your Father, which is in heaven, is perfect. And when you look down on that blue, violet is a derivative from blue, all right? And it's a bone in the blue letter, all right? You're supposed to remember not to go off to the right or to the left, man, all right? That's what it's there for us to be perfect, for us to remember the commandments, okay? Purple, are we going to wear purple and have our royal garments in the kingdom? Yes. But right now, we are slaves, man. We slaves, man. We're not wearing purple yet. You know, you can make your garment of purple, but it better have them blue fringes at the bottom, okay? And you got to do first things first, and that's for all young brothers in this faith, man. You got to get connected to the body and learn how things are done amongst the brotherhood. Things are done decently and in order. 1 Corinthians 14 and 40. All right? And when you go up to verse 33, it says, the Most High is not the author of confusion. It's confusion for somebody to come talking about making garments with borders of purple, violet. All right? That's going off, man. So with that, I'm going to get infinite honors to our Heavenly Father and our great King, Yahweh Bashim Al-Shah, Bashim Karkadash, double honors to our teachers, the apostles of Great Millstone, and salutation to my fellow laborers in Yahweh Shah. Kwam Yasharala, Abba, Abba.